High-paced run and gun action. What's not to love? There are so many games in this series to cover, so we're gonna have to start off with the first one. Yeah, I know everyone and their parents have already talked about it, so obviously I also have to give my take on it. While Contra did debut on the arcade, the version everyone remembers to this day is the NES port. The arcade version is brutal, with some cheap deaths, a serious coin eater, and for some reason, we have a vertical screen, which just feels awkward. On the NES, there is no weird vertical screen, and while the game is still tough, it's at least fair. By fair, I mean that if you die, it's usually your or your partner's fault. Did I mention the box art is a drawing of Dutch from Predator and John Rambo side by side? Another great thing added for the faint of heart is the Konami cheat. You know, that code everyone knows.
Up, down, stop.
It starts you off with 30 lives instead of the standard 3. It's the only way I could even imagine beating this game when I was a kid. According to the manual, a large object from outer space crashed into a lost Mayan civilization 30 years ago. Now aliens led by the Red Falcon are trying to take over the world. It's up to our heroes to take these sons of bitches head on. You play the game as either Bill or Lance, depending on which controller you use. Basically, we are trying to get from point A to point B, which is usually left to right, or in some stages we go forward. Destroy anything that stands in the way. Our heroes start off with the standard single shot, so you have to tap every time you want to shoot. I usually have to hold my controller like this. There are these things that fly in the sky called flying capsules. Shoot them down and they will contain weapon upgrades. The L gives us a laser. For that one, we have to hold down the shoot button, otherwise the shot disappears. The F shoots a flame that kinda moves in a spiral fashion. The B is temporary invincibility, but don't push your luck, it won't do anything against bottomless pits. The M is a machine gun, just hold the B button for a continuous shot. Now I can hold the controller like a decent human being. These flashing ones destroy all enemies on the screen. The R ones are called rapid fire, so these basically allow more shots on the screen at once. Normally you can only have a few of your regular shots on the screen at once, but with this bad boy, we get a few more to add on there. So if you own a rapid fire controller of some sort, or don't mind holding it like this, we can pick some up. And my favorite weapon, S, the spread shot. Talk about up. This gun shoots 3 projectiles at a time. With 2 players holding this weapon, you can probably fill the whole screen with your projectiles. In sequels, this gun gets nerfed as it's way too OP. I just don't understand why these idiot Red Falcon aliens thought it would be a good idea to send these weapons flying over our heroes. It's like they want us to defeat them or something. For being aliens, these guys aren't as tough as you would think. There are regular guys that run at you. They don't shoot, but they will kill by running into you. These other alien guys that wear red usually stand still and shoot wherever you're standing. Kinda like these turrets. They can shoot in 8 different directions. These shiny turrets, I've only ever seen them shoot in 3 different directions. There are guys that hide in the waterfalls or other water sources and just throw bombs at you. Mouths that shoot this purple stuff at you. Spiked vehicles from the Mad Max series. Pink scorpions. Aliens shooting from a mounted gun. A large xenomorph that shoots little shrimp. And many more. Despite the increase in difficulty, this game is best enjoyed in 2-player mode. It was one of the few NES games that I owned where 2 players could simultaneously play. Just some advice for any friends wanting to take this on together: don't hate each other unless you've tried the Konami cheat. If you've tried that and you still can't win, then yeah, you can hate each other then. For the first stage, we start off in a jungle. You can tell this place is heavily inspired by the setting in the Predator. Towards the beginning, we get some baddies and our first capsules. Inside is the rapid shot and machine gun. We come across these bridges that explode. It's best to stay on the high ground to get our first spread. If our heroes fall into the water, it's no worry, as we get another spread later. You will notice there are some gray blocks in the cliff edges with the Red Falcon logo. Destroying these is like shooting down one of the capsules. After dealing with a few of these turrets, we get our second chance at the spread. Just jump over a few pits and our heroes will come across the first boss. It's a wall. I usually just shoot the guy at the top, then the turrets, and finally the weak spot. Pretty easy. Our heroes rush through a corridor with electric barriers. Basically, our heroes are to take this thing on one room at a time. Each room has at least one switch that will need to be destroyed in order to proceed to the next one. The only baddies here are turrets and red or green guys. Killing a red guy gives us an upgrade, kinda like shooting down the capsule. Once our heroes arrive at the last room, there will be only one target left, and it's a huge one. You know the drill. The boss here is this weird alien eyeball that hovers back and forth, but before our heroes can fight it, they have to destroy some red weak points. I would advise to also take out these annoying turrets. When taking on the aforementioned eyeball, our boys need to watch out for these circles being thrown at them. The waterfall. If our heroes are fighting through this stage simultaneously, cooperation is a must. If one of the boys decides to go on ahead without the other, they won't last long. The most annoying thing on the way to the top is the guys hiding in the water, waiting to throw bombs at you. As long as you can patiently take out all the baddies on the way to the top, there should be no trouble. Our boss fight here is against a badass looking oversized alien. It has 2 arms that swing around shooting flames at us. After those are taken out, the head will shoot flames at us as well. Just watch out and shoot it in the fucking face. Not much to say about base 2, so let's skip to the boss. Trust me, it's literally just like the first base level. Just a long corridor with electric barriers. But this time some of the switches are shielded. So this time it's harder and longer. Yeah, whatever. Our heroes must have come to the base on BOGO Day because we have 2 bosses. Once again, there are some red switches and 1 turret that must be taken out before. While taking out the switches, we will be greeted by some red aliens, and aliens with wings that jump at you. The twin aliens will shoot some flying, flashing red and blue fatal capsules. Be careful because these will swoop down at you. Next we go to the snowfields. The place is filled with baddies trying to run into you. Someone is throwing bombs at us from beyond the background. They're so chicken they won't even show themselves. We need to watch out for the aliens behind the mounted guns, because these guys pop out of nowhere and shoot almost instantly. So as soon as you see them, the boss here is a large pod dropping smaller pods. Just avoid the middle as there are red being taken, and shoot the big pod when possible. Shoot the small ones as they come at you. For our next stop, we are gonna head to the energy zone. I think it might be like some sort of alien power plant. Once again, we meet these assholes trying to crash into you, and some more of the mounted gun guys. If there exists a Red Falcon OSHA, someone needs to call in to report this place. There are leaks all over. Get close and expect a face full of alien energy steam stuff. There are leaks everywhere. Once we are done tiptoeing our way around the danger, we are met with the next boss. Kinda looks like the exosuit Krang uses. Avoid the frisbees it throws and jump over it when it comes charging, and everything will be okay. We are getting close to the last level. Here our heroes head to the alien hangar, which I assume is right outside the main headquarters. Here, we must as usual watch out for these regular alien guys that charge into you. Patience will be required as there are some claws that come crashing down in a pattern. Also, some spiked walls will appear out of nowhere, so don't just run into them. The boss here will be 2 bomb turrets below and the door that keeps unleashing alien guys at you. The main thing you want to aim for is this golden square. Finally, we arrive at the alien's lair. This stage looks crazy. I don't even want to know what the walls or floors are made out of. I sure would hate to fall into that glowing stuff. Our boys must shoot these shrimp until we meet our buddy here. Now let's blow his head off. You know, it's kinda rude to spit food at your guests. Now all that's left is to take on this haul of pink scorpions and purple mouths, also shooting projectiles. You can either be patient like me and take them all out, or be a daredevil and just run past all of it. The reason I wouldn't recommend the latter is because these projectiles annoyingly follow you. At the end of the hallway, we have found the source of it all. It kinda looks like a heart. I think it is a heart. Anyways, I swear this thing takes a million shots in order to kill it, and it doesn't help that the scorpions keep coming out. Next, there's a cool cutscene showing a chopper, with our heroes inside making an escape as the island is about to explode. There's also a message informing us that the vile Red Falcon have been destroyed. If you somehow lived under a rock or in a vault or something and missed out on this game growing up, go play it right now. Better yet, grab a good friend and play it with them. Just remember, don't hate each other till after you tried the Konami cheat.